All right, people, serious questions only. Let's do this.
I've got one.
I feel like,
What's your favourite colour?
first of all, I just want to say everybody did such a great job tonight. Everybody gave great energy, and I think that's why we came out with the win. So, Coach felt good about it. He's still in there changing his tie, and yeah, sure.
I've got one. I'm going to start off with Teen Titans from my son who's 10 years old.
Oh yeah.
He would like to know, how did you feel when you found out there was going to be a Teen Titans Go movie, and how long did it take to make?
We made 14 different Teen Titans Go movies because we never made a Teen Titans Go movie before. So we normally make 11-minute TV shows of Teen Titans Go. So the first time we made our feature-length movie, and then we watched it and we were like, yeah, that's not going to work. So then, so we went back to the drawing board. The cool thing is that our artists and our writers and directors and producers all have ankle bracelets, that chain them to desks or to bowling balls, that sort of thing. So they can't leave. So rather than leave, they just make them work constantly. And we literally learned over the course of a year and a half all of the ways to make a movie wrong, and finally how to make a movie. I seriously think we made 4 different movies before we finally figured out the formula for how to take Teen Titans Go and our quick 11-minute kind of thing that we do and extrapolate that into a feature-length thing. And it is pants-peeingly funny. I cannot wait. Honestly, I feel bad for the theaters involved because the clean crew, it's gonna be horrible. Every episode, I just bring your diapers, bring your adult diapers for the children. Bring the appropriate size, and don't drink a lot of water. I'm telling you, you're just asking for trouble. It's going to be so good. It's like people have kind of equated it to like a kid's version of Deadpool. It's very, kind of breaking the fourth wall, very meta, which is what our show is kind of based on. We stopped writing it for the kids, I don't know, after about episode 30 or 40, and then it's all references from the 80s and how to buy a mortgage. It's very haphazard, but we're having a ball.
What's your favorite reference? Your nostalgia in that show, because they've got like so many.
There's so many. I love the first one was the Dark Side plushie. Was great. I love that we actually have have an argument with Dark Side about Weird Al Yankovic, who actually plays Dark Side, and about whether he is a national treasure or not. The fact that I get to play Green Lantern as Cyborg, and then because you can conjure anything as Green Lantern, of course I conjure the Golden Girls. Because what is stronger or more powerful than the sassiness of Estelle Getty? I tell you, nothing is. Nothing in this world.
Who came up with that idea of like Cyborg being obsessed with the Golden Girls?
Because I'm obsessed with the Golden Girls. And I don't know how many times during like over the course, we just burst into the song for the Golden Girls. We would do that, I don't know, every once in a while on the show. Because we've been working together for 15 years, and it's just I look over at Hendon Walsh, who plays Starfire, and I just say, thank you for being a friend. Travel down the road and back again. Next thing you know, we're all singing it, and it's just one of those things. It's like, what are we gonna conjure? Some crotchety old ladies who live in South Florida. That's what you do.
I think what we really want to see, though, is the Golden Girls versus an actual tiger. That's the fight we're all waiting for.
Oh, well, you know what? That sounds like a script waiting for you to write. So get on that, my friend. Absolutely. I will be. I'll wear dreadlocks and an infrared eye just for you, dude. Let's make it happen.
I feel so much joy right now. Transitioning, I guess, to Walking Dead. I mean, obviously, of all the great characters the show's given us, your character, whether he's just a king or some guy, has really changed, I guess, the tone and the character of the show quite a lot. Can you talk a little bit about, for you, what most connected with you about that character?
Well, what most connected with me is, and I really did connect, straight away. I've only been in London for like 36 hours. I'm already, using the lingo. I've never said straight away in my life, but here we are.
Your English is on point.
Oh, it's killing.
amazing.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's like I've been speaking it all my life.
Yeah, it's like you've just come from the royal family. It's amazing.
Yeah, truly, they'd never accept me. But Ezekiel, I'm really have an affinity for. I feel like the idea of being a light in a dark place is kind of why I got into theater and acting. I wanted to have a connection with an audience that was in some way not just entertaining but positive and reaffirming. And I feel like Ezekiel's character is very much that way. I think it was very important that after Glenn and Abraham died in such a horrific way that the kingdom came in and reminded people that there was hope, that there is a reason for fighting to be not just a survivor, but a human being, that can rise above it all, and just as an actor, who's kind of a journeyman, who's been working for 20-something years in this business, and nobody really knew who I was, up until a few years ago. But I thought my first job was always to be hopeful, always to be to keep your head up and be positive, and remember that even though it's hard, that this job is a blessing, and people come to watch your TV show or watch your movie to get a certain amount of light and entertainment and love and happiness, and walk out of there feeling better for it, and so the first job for me is to be hopeful, is what I always tell myself, and I felt like that's kind of Ezekiel in a nutshell. It's like, as bad as things are, I'm not going to let this get me down, and I may go to great lengths to stay positive, but when they're dead people walking around, you got to go to great lengths to stay positive. Yeah.
I mean, he is really, really theatrical in the way that he speaks. Obviously, that's the king.
Yeah.
Did that come really naturally with your theatre background?
It
Or
did.
Was it really difficult to speak like that all of the time?
You know what? It was not that difficult. I had the pleasure of doing a lot of theater in my 20s, and also had the pleasure of having my great uncle Neb, who was a very kind of Southern gentleman. He was a big guy. He was 300 something pounds and had a very slow and he had a deep voice and a bit of a Savannah drawl. Khary, go over there and get me that cake. I'm going to put it all in my mouth. But no matter what he would say, there would be this kind of royal air about him. And so growing up with that, although he was theatrical in his own way, he was still very natural and very much himself. And I think I took a lot of that, and when I started kind of putting on the character of Ezekiel, it felt very natural, and I think that's important. That the initial shock of hearing the way that he speaks and how he goes about his business is one thing, but you almost immediately feel that there's something natural and organic coming, that it's not put upon, that there's a reason for it. And so I have to thank my great uncle Nesbitt for for the inspiration.
My 6-year-old wants to know, do you like playing video games as much as Cyborg, and what's your favourite game?
I do like to play video games. I don't get to play as much as I used to. Still my favorite all-time video game is Portal 2. It is one of the greatest, not just video games, just games, period, of all time. I still play it with my 9-year-old, and we've been playing Portal 2 since she was, I don't know, maybe 4. And the cool thing about it is you play the tandem game, and every year she's a little bit better, and so we get to go a little bit further, and the puzzles are, a little more complicated. We just played, not yesterday, the day before I got on the plane to come out here. Daddy, can we play Portal? Absolutely.
One question I want to ask, as someone who's going through the industry himself, what advice would you give to any young actors who are just starting out?
Is don't listen to what anybody says. Listen to your heart, listen to your gut and what it's telling you, because this job is amazing. It is a great job to have, unless it's not. And that's the truth. A lot of people get into this thing, and they call Hollywood you go to Hollywood and you see the broken dreams every and you've got to let that push you forward, or it can knock you back down. But it's like in any job, your passion and your love has to be the thing that's the forefront of it. And if your passion and your love isn't enough to keep you positive when it gets really hard, then trust your gut and find something that you have enough passion and enough love for that will keep you positive even in the tough times. I think and that's true of any profession, honestly, but I think it's even more, kind of it's something that you put a light on even more in this business, because you can go from such highs and bring you down. I know many supposedly successful actors who are miserable, and I wouldn't wish that on anyone either. I know some very successful people who walked away from it because they were like, what, I'm not happy. And your happiness is at the end of the day the most important thing. Be honest with yourself, so that you can find your passion, not just what seems to be the bright way to go. There's all you need is your path, and your path is individually yours. The woman who makes my wig, Victoria Woods, is a brilliant wig maker. There was only one of her, and I'm sure that there were many people who were like you can't make a living doing that, and it's true. A lot of people can't make a living, but she can. Robert De Niro drives down to her place in Long Beach because she's the one, she's the one, and so and she found her place and she found her passion. So no matter what you're doing, this goes for not just actors or anything, but find your one and singular passion. Even in acting, I won't do any job because any job won't make me happy. I've turned down things that would have made me money, but not necessarily made me happy. And so you remember that you always have that choice. Your happiness is your success. There you go.
I think your path's taking you away from us, sadly, but thank you so much for your time.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah,
All right,
I think so.
dude.
Sorry. You need
Love it. That was great.
My voice is in my house, pretty much.